Hi, I just wanted to hop on really quickly. I don't have a lot of time today. I have max 15 minutes before I need to move on to other things. And sometimes we have days like this, and it's better to show up and practice than not practice at all and not enjoy making a bit of music. And so I thought I would just sit down and show you exactly how I would approach what I need to do when I only have 15 minutes. It's not ideal. It's not a great amount of time, but you really have to sit down and make sure that you have a plan. So I'm only going to work on Beethoven Opus 109 today, only on the first movement, and I'm just going to pick up where I left off last time. So I'm going to play through roughly the first page, see how everything's coming along, and then from there I'm very quickly going to hone in on where I need to be working. Okay, so the opening is coming along. These arpeggios and these kind of improvisatory figures in the middle sort of lost my train of thought. And yeah, now I want to check the memory on the opening because the last time I practiced this, I was working on memorizing the opening. It's almost there. I'm going to try a couple more times. First, a little bit slower. It's basically there, and it is flowing more automatically than I expected it to, honestly. And part of what happened the first time that I attempted from memory was I was a bit surprised that it was going so well in that tempo, and then the focus was gone. So let's go again, this time a little bit quicker. Okay, now I have to go slower again because I'm mixing up the two phrases since they open very similarly. That's actually going better than I thought it would by this point. So I'm going to do it one more time, just kind of testing memory more than anything else. So in my ideal tempo, if I'm trying to just focus on the music, my hands are still not quite automatically landing where they need to, particularly the left hand. The right hand pretty much knows where it needs to be going, but the left hand doesn't have this automaticity yet. And so I personally feel that it is important to just keep coming back and keep testing memory in this way, and also try out a variety of tempos, because if we always practice in the same tempo, then if we vary it at all, we start to notice that we don't have the same sort of flow when we sit down to play, that it doesn't come as automatically. And we want to be able to decide our tempo. Sure, it's nice if you have a really clear image of the tempo that you want, but also sometimes just day by day, moods vary, and so it's important to be able to account for all of those things and not just only be able to play it at 60 beats per minute or 120 beats per minute or whatever the case may be for a given piece. So now I'm going to work through that opening a few more times and start to listen a little bit more for how I want to be phrasing the melody and kind of decide how I want that to be going. There is a big crescendo. It's quiet at the beginning, and then through the second phrase there's a big crescendo into this rolled diminished chord. And so I'm going to start thinking a bit more musically and not just thinking kind of on a technical harmonic level of, okay, we have E major, C sharp minor, D sharp minor, which is kind of how I was calculating up until this point. I am going to go slower because I do want to be able to pay attention to multiple factors at once, which for me is not flowing in a faster tempo yet. Don't just jump into the phrase again. I think I'm doing too much of a retard there because the opening is vivace, and then when this rolled chord, it's adagio, but there's actually no ritardando written out. There's only a crescendo, and so I think I'm stretching too much. I think it can breathe a little bit. I don't think it needs to stay really metronomic up until that first beat of the new measure, but I think I'm stretching too much. And the nice thing is I'm recording, so I can come back and listen to this tomorrow and see, or later today in the evening, and see what I really think and feel about that. Derailed everything else. A little bit sloppy there, so one more time, try to bring everything together, and then I'm moving on. Okay, ideally I would still do that a few more times so that I get all of the artistic ideas that I want together, and it's working with the memory, and I should probably be going a little bit slower so that I can bring all of those things together without so much repetition, and because if I slow down then I have more time to think and I'm not going to be making the mistakes. I'm going to be able to have more control over shaping that line as well. So, you know, we all do it. Everybody practices too fast. Okay, I need to focus. At the end, I lost focus. This D sharp major arpeggio went fine, but the B diminished. I need to clean up. So last time I was working on memorizing this little kind of the first two measures of this adagio because it feels quite clunky. So I'm going to try and see how much I can do for memory now. And I might try that hand separately first, actually. Maybe not. No, that didn't stick. But in the little bit that I practiced this piece a couple of years ago, I also never really memorized it, except for anyway, besides a very technical sort of muscle memory, which isn't particularly reliable because as soon as any factors change, as soon as you have a relatively long break from practicing, it just kind of taps out. So what I discovered last time that I practiced this was that I can think a bit more melodically in terms of the scale. So this is just kind of switching shortly over to C sharp minor, and we have, it's just a C sharp minor scale on the top with this short little chromatic turn in there. And then there it's much more straightforward. It's not nearly as hairy and hard to, it's not complicated, it's just, it's awkward. So first it's thirds, and then we have the dominant, then the sort of chromatic turn, then we land on the tonic, our short-term tonic, steps down 6, some sort of 7 chord, yeah, and then it's back into the realm of E major already. It's really just a very short turn in the C sharp minor. a clear picture of how it fits, so I'm going to do it with the score a couple of times instead of trying to just do it by memory. I still feel like it's more of a tactile memory than really being clear on what's going on. I have my ear knows, but and I do kind of have landmark points. So I know that here it's landing on C sharp minor. Right before that, it's kind of coming from the diminished 7 leading into C sharp minor. And then here, both hands are very briefly on C sharp minor. And then when we get there, then I feel like I kind of know where it's going. I'm going to check the time really fast because I'm guessing we're already at 15 minutes. Yeah, more or less. So I'm going to play from the beginning one more time. I'm going to see how it goes working through that much from memory, and then that's all there's going to be time for today. So the end of the page is still sloppy, but I didn't have time to practice the end of the page. But I do have the first 11, 12 even measures, maybe even almost 13, except for the left hand at the end of it, measures memorized. And from there, you can see that you can make at least a little bit of progress in one day. And I mean, I was able to make real progress on, I would say, 13 measures of the piece. This movement has 93, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 99 measures. So yeah, I mean, it's not even 20% of the piece. It's roughly 13% of the piece. But still, I showed up, I made progress, and I feel like I'm clear on what the next steps are for this section of the piece, and there's a lot that will be applied throughout the rest of this movement. So I hope this is helpful. I hope you can see how even just small pockets of time can make progress on a piece. This video is part of my practice-a-thon that I'm doing for Save the Children, raising funds and awareness for Save the Children, an international children's wellness nonprofit organization. They serve in essentially every country in the world, and there are a lot of areas of conflict. I will link to all of their information in the description of this video, and they do really good work at protecting the most vulnerable in our society. If you're interested in joining this practice-a-thon, leave a comment below or send me an email, robin@pianowithrobin.com, and I'll send you more information as it becomes available. I'm still coordinating with the organization. And until next time, happy practicing.